Scrolling and studying? Hate to break it to you, your brain can't do both. Hi, I'm Anthony Sali, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Psychology at Wake Forest University, where my lab studies vision, attention, and learning. While it often feels like we're able to do multiple things simultaneously, the research on the brain suggests that we really are rapidly switching back and forth between different subtasks when we're doing this. So when it feels like we might be watching TV while doing our homework, really our attention is having to switch between our focus on the homework versus focus on the TV versus focus on whatever else might be going on around us. Every time that switch happens, we incur a little bit of a cost. And by a cost, I mean that you become a little slower to do what you're doing, you might be a little less accurate, and that adds up over time, meaning that we're not really multitasking ever. What would be more efficient would be if we're able to kind of block out time, right? That this is my time to respond to emails, and I'm going to spend all of my time responding to emails just then. And then when I sit down to write a paper or read a book later, I'm going to just focus on that. My lab studies how learning or our previous experiences influence the ways we shift between tasks and how we deploy our attention. This is why if you have a bit of a sweet tooth like me and you go to the grocery store, you can't help but pay attention to the candy sitting there, even though you might not want to be purchasing that. In my lab here at Wake Forest, we use a variety of techniques to try to study the brain and cognition. One big technique that we use are just behavioral studies. So we'll have participants come into the lab and do tasks where they have to respond to pictures and numbers on a screen. And they might press buttons, and we can measure things like how long it takes them to make those responses, as well as when they make mistakes. We also sometimes use different neuroscientific techniques. One that we use in my lab is functional magnetic resonance imaging. We stick someone in an MRI scanner. They can do those same tasks while they're lying in the scanner. And as they do that, we can measure blood flow in the brain. And so we can track that. And then we can infer what parts of the brain are active as somebody is switching tasks or shifting attention between different things.